Hey everyone, it's me, not your average fox, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be looking at consoles, top 10 best-selling consoles. So we won't be including, by the way, consoles that are currently being sold, or current generational ones like the Xbox Series X, PS5 and Nintendo Switch, seeing as they're still being sold, and just make the list more fairer basically. So these consoles, as we all know, helped shape the video game industry as we know it today. And without further ado, grab your controllers and let's dive into some video game history. Kicking things off at number 10 is the PlayStation Portable. Released in 2004 in Japan and later 2005 in North America and PAL regions, this beauty of a handheld was Sony's first dive into the handheld market, if you exclude the 1999 Japanese exclusive Pocket Station. The PSP had many iconic titles like the Jak and Daxter games, God of War Chains of Olympus, and even two GTA 3D titles made it, Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories, all this resulting in the PSP selling around 80 million units.
Alright, we're going to start your exam now. You might feel a little pressure, okay?
Oh, what's that?
It looks like Frogger advanced. Now let's keep moving.
Doctor?
Oh, that's fine, nurse. That's just Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Now, moving along.
At number 9, we've got the Game Boy Advance. Released in 2001, the GBA was the successor to the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color, packed with iconic titles such as Fire Red, Leaf Green, and The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. A few gems like Golden Sun also came to the GBA. The GBA at the time changed the handheld market, with the later SP redesign using the iconic clamshell design which would later be used in the DS and 3DS lineups, all this resulting in sales of around 81 million units. Next up at number 8 is the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 was Microsoft's second games console, released around a year before the PS3 and the Wii's launch. It was officially the first full HD games console to ever be released. This iconic system was home to nostalgic titles such as Forza Motorsport 2, Gears of War, and the legendary Halo 3. The Xbox 360 also had arguably the best multiplayer experience around this time, with its Xbox Live services offering online gameplay, messages and live party chats, which could get pretty chaotic, even though it did suffer a certain... This didn't stop it from achieving great success with sales of around 84 million units sold. Coming in at number 7 is the PlayStation 3. During 2006, Sony faced some steep competition Microsoft's Xbox 360 had just been on the market for around a year now, and Sony had to create its successor to the PlayStation 2. The PS3 came with some epic exclusives like The Last of Us, Uncharted 2 and Gran Turismo 5, but it wasn't without its hiccups. The first half of the PS3's life cycle was rough, as it cost more than the Xbox 360 and had a complex architecture. This wouldn't deter Sony though, as Sony would later cut the price of the PS3, and this was just enough for the PS3 to win the console wars of the 7th generation, wiping the grin off Microsoft, selling around 87 million units. At number 6, we have the Nintendo Wii. The Nintendo Wii would revolutionize what would soon become motion control gaming. The Nintendo Wii didn't look like much from a first glance and was vastly inferior to alternative home systems at the time in terms of raw power, but what the Wii lacked in power, it made up for in fun. The Nintendo Wii was released in 2006, close to the PS3, and was home to iconic titles such as Wii Sports, Super Mario Galaxy and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. The main reason being the Wii catered to more widespread casual audience, leading to sales of around 101 million units sold.
Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived.
Pack up your stuff. I got a little surprise for you here.
Check it out. What do you think about that? We got real-time, 3D, lush organic environments. How's that make you feel, buddy?
Feel a little like your days are numbered?
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
You're hurting my elbow.
Is that Italian?
No, Bandicoot is an Australian name.
At number 5, we have the original PlayStation. The Sony PlayStation was Sony's first home video game console, released in 1994. The PlayStation revolutionized gaming with its 3D graphics and iconic games like Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid and the nostalgic Crash Bandicoot. It laid the foundation for Sony's dominance in the console market, which would only grow by the years. This iconic system sold around 102 million units.
Nice, Sarah.
At number 4, we have the PlayStation 4, Sony's fourth home console, released in 2013 across the globe and 2014 in Japan. The PlayStation 4 was an 8th generation console, succeeding its 7th generation predecessor, the PlayStation 3, which was released in 2006. The PS4 was not only sleeker looking, but was also home to titles like The Last of Us Part 2, the critically acclaimed Spider-Man reboots and Bloodborne. This was a turning point for Sony, as they would go from a free online multiplayer network with their PS3 to a paid online subscription with PlayStation Plus, as well as having multimedia capabilities beyond what the PS3 could do. This paired with a much improved controller made the PS4 a force to be reckoned with, leading to sales of around 117 million units.
They said it wasn't humanly possible. All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Game Boy comes complete with batteries and the outrageous new game Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use Video Link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, portable power.
Let's play some Tetris, motherfucker.
At number 3, we have the combined total of the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Remember those moments spent at school whipping out your Game Boy to show off your Pokemon to your friends? I'm pretty sure we all at one point or another had one of these. The Game Boy in Game Boy Color wasn't just Nintendo's first dive into the handheld market, as seen by Nintendo's Game & Watch released back in 1980 all the way up to 1991. The original Game Boy was released in its Japanese home market in 1989, later followed by a worldwide release in 1990, with the Game Boy Color being released 8 years later. What made the Game Boy iconic was its launch alongside Tetris, a simple puzzle game where you make lines with random assorted shapes. The Game Boy was also home to Pokemon Red and Blue and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Both these legendary systems sold around 118 million units. At number 2, we have the Nintendo DS, released globally across 2004 and 2005. The Nintendo DS made history with its dual LCD touchscreen, built-in microphone, and its modernized clamshell design, and the inclusion of Picture Chat. Like many other Nintendo consoles and handhelds, the DS was vastly underpowered compared to its rivals. But as we all know, you should never underestimate Nintendo. The DS could not only play 2D but 3D games, as shown by its launch alongside a new Metroid Prime title and Super Mario 64 DS. It also came included with features like a clock and a calendar. All these combined equaled sales of around 154 million units sold. And finally, at number 1, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself. It's the PlayStation 2. Being part of the 6th generation console era, the PlayStation 2 released in 2000 made waves when it would eventually become the best-selling video games console of all time, giving us iconic titles like GTA San Andreas, Final Fantasy X and Metal Gear Solid 2. But this wasn't just a one-trick pony. The PS2 also doubled as a DVD player back when dedicated DVD players were super expensive. This helped to push the PS2 sales through the roof, with around 160 million units sold to date. And that is it. Those were the top 10 best-selling games consoles of all time. Of course, excluding current gen consoles and consoles that are still being made and sold today. So, what consoles did you grow up with? And what were your favourites? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay healthy, guys.
It's not your average fox. Yeah, it's not your average fox.